Shalom, Oprezi, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rukaka, Dash, double honest to the apostles at GreatMillStone. This CBS, we know Swedes are chipped, and pretty much CBS has just uploaded this about, when I clicked on it, it was 11 minutes ago. It's probably been about half an hour now since it's been up or whatever. So I'm just going to watch it and do some commentary on it, because like we say, the mark of the beast is real. You know, and this is literally a CBS upload, and they're holding a microchip like that. But we know, according to the scriptures, it's the mark of the beast. So let me play it.
So let's switch gears a little bit. So you have something else that's really interesting in the newsletter about people in Sweden putting implants, microchips, right, into them. We've seen something like this here. There was a company that
in Wisconsin,
right, so they could get stuff out of the vending machine with these microchips. So what's happening in Sweden?
So basically, in Sweden, over the past couple of years, several thousand people have had these little rice grain-sized microchips put into their hands, which contain information that they can use to, say, check into the gym or get into the office or pay for train tickets, right? So on the one hand, everyone can appreciate that that's convenient, right? How many times have you been looking for your key fob at the gym or can't remember your password for something? But I think the bigger question here is, look, as the human body itself becomes a technological platform, right, there are big questions we need to consider about what kind of information is put out about us from...
Well, let me pause it there. It says, Sweden's microchip boom, about 3K Swedes have implanted a microchip into their bodies. Tech first used in 2015. And it says replacing IDs, train tickets, key cards. You know, so for you people saying, no, mate, they're going to cause this to be, you can't buy or sell. You can't do anything pretty much. You can't be in this system with this chip. You know, it's just the facts, bro. You can't deny it. I mean, if you're denying that, you're not awoke. You're asleep. You don't know what's happening out here. You don't know the agenda of these so-called elites. You don't know, because how are you gonna call yourself? The scripture says to make your light shine, and we are of the day, and all that, being of the day and all that represents being enlightened. How are you gonna call yourself enlightened when you don't even know what's going on around you? You don't even know. You can't really see through the dark. How can you say that? You know, if you don't know right now, the mark of the beast is the RFID chip, or the microchip, and the elites plan to get everyone chipped, then you don't know what's going on. And the scripture says we have an unction that you know all things.
Us, quite literally, and also further down the line, what kind of access do other people or platforms have to that information that is inside us, right? This is a biotech question, this kind of blurring of the lines between the human body and tech. I mean, it's one thing if you're holding your smartphone and it's sort of emitting data about you. It's another thing if your own hand is doing the same thing.
So, like 3,000 people signed up for this. Are they not as concerned about hacking and privacy and all the things that we can't stop talking about over here?
Yeah, polls show that actually Sweden is one of the countries where concerns about misuse of data is actually lower than other countries in Europe. But, you know, we'll see. This is 3,000 people. This is a small experiment. It's been developing over the past several years. But as the information that these microchips contains gets more elaborate and more detailed, people may start to change their mind and demand more protection of their privacy.
So there you go. So we're seeing, you know, the RFID microchip in the mainstream, and people are getting chipped. People are chipped, and like you said, a train ticket, to get a train ticket you have to buy it. So, you know, they're not even there. They can use a chip to get their tickets, to get on the train, for ID, to use it for ID. You know, that completely does away with everything. Like, that does away with you. You know, if you've really got that, you won't need a passport, because what you find out is every angle, a facet of society, whether it be your medical, travel, identification, there's been articles come out to say that it'd be better if you get chipped. Basically, when you go to the doctors, you won't have to bring all this paperwork, all you have to do is scan the chip and all your medical records come up there. You can't see that this is what they're doing. They got 4G, 5G, they're releasing, and you know, this is the Internet of Things. They've come out and said it. They've come out of their own mouths and said these things. This is CBSN, and by the way, that symbol in there is nothing but a eye, which goes back to witchcraft. Okay, Eye of Horus or whatever. So this is what the plans are. Now you got morons out there still running around saying, "Oh no, it's not that. It's Christianity," and all this. But, you know, but that just shows how lame a lot of you individuals are. And as a matter of fact, let me read this, because it's just absolutely not on. Don't know why it's done that. It's absolutely not on, mate. I'm just gonna read it. Just gonna read it for what it is. Revelation 13:16. He calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Because some people have got these brain chips and have said, "Oh well, brain chips will help you with," you know, there's many ways they've pushed it. They've pushed it in terms of helping you think, you know, in terms of, and they put basically these places like the best places for it to be the most effective. That's why they're putting it there, mate. Okay. So this bio transplant, they're pushing that. They show you that in games, they show you in media, they're putting it now in the mainstream news. It ain't just in the game now, or some book, or some kind of grey-haired conspiracy theorist. So you see, because that's what you're trying to make it look like. If you talk about the microchip, you're just some old grey-haired conspiracy theorist, you know. But now you can't deny it. Okay. But anyway, if if you're calling yourself being an Israelite and you've got a problem with the prophecy of the mark of the beast, then there's something wrong with you. And a lot of you dudes, you're not even, let me get this, a lot of you guys, you're not even, let me get this. Revelation 22:7, behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And a lot of you dudes, you're not even into prophecies. Okay? A lot of you dudes, you're not even really, you don't like the topic of the mark of the beast. Here is where the ones always going into it. Current events linking it up, and a lot of you dudes, you don't even want to go into that. Okay? You don't even want to go into that. Ephesians 5. I usually bring this one out, but there's another one. Ephesians 5:8. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. You know, we've got the light, man, and that allows you. What does light allow you to do? See in the dark. You dudes cannot see what's going on in the dark. You just can't. You're crazy. The RFID is the mark of the beast, and they're pushing it. You know, do you know what the Illuminati is? Do you know what their plans are? Do you know how they dispense things? That's why they've got a pyramid structure, because it's power at the top, and then it goes down. The masses are at the bottom, and then they've got organizations and business to control these things, to push their agendas through. That's why they all the major corporations, and the push now. If you're really looking at what's going on, you're finding out through business. Barclays want to chip people. You know, the medical want to chip people. How come all these industries are talking about, oh, wow, we've just got this fancy tech that can help you in this, make quicker payments. We've got this fancy tech that can, easier for you to get your medical check. We've got this fancy tech that can help you travel. We got this, you know, you got to think about that. Because it's being pushed by the top. We should know the Lord's going to destroy this place, but they are going to cause everyone to get this. That's the prophecy we just read. We just read it. He causeth all. So the Lord's going to allow Esau to push this onto the people. Mandatory. Which is selling it as a good thing. Okay. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.